in the Asian Development Bank. He was based in a few countries like Dubai and so on. So we're very blessed to have him to come and speak to us. Alan is a brilliant leader, someone that I look up to, and I'll now hand over the time to Alan to speak to us. So over to you, Alan.
Do I need this? Yeah. Hello, good afternoon. One day, there was a boy, he went to the beach. And when he went to the beach, he realized that there were a lot of starfish all over the seashores. Early morning, right? The beach, a lot of starfish, starfish, right? And if the sun comes up, and if the starfish don't get into the water on time, what's going to happen to the starfish? They'll die, right? Because they'll all dry up and die. So the boy had a very good heart. He wanted to save the starfish, right? So he picked up the starfish and then started throwing it back into the water. He picked up, but there were so many, thousands of starfish on the beach, thousands of them. He went down and picked up and he threw into the water. And then one old man came by and he looked at the boy. The old man was thinking, there's no way this boy can, throw all the starfish back into the water. So he told the young boy, he said, boy, what are you trying to do? The boy said, I want to save the starfish. But the old man said, there are thousands of them. You don't have enough time. The sun is coming up. And very soon, they're going to die. But the boy replied, he said, I know I can't save all the starfish. But he said, but every starfish that I picked up and I throw into the water, I will save that one. Right? Our life is like that. Can you save the world? We can't, right? A lot of problems in the whole world. Everywhere, right? You look left, you look right. There are a lot of problems everywhere. So that is also my purpose, my mission. I can't save all the youth, right? There are so many youth. We go to Laos, now we are in Cambodia, we want to go to Indonesia, we want to go, right? So Lawrence, you don't look at him, he may walk a bit slow, but he walked very fast, So we are going to all these places, right? We can't save all the youth, we can't help all the youth. But everyone we speak to in session like that, if my message gets into one of you, I feel that I have accomplished my mission, right? Because one of you may in turn help thousands more, right? So I hope you remember this starfish analogy, all right? We can't save everyone, but let's do our part where we can, right, to make a difference. So thank you, Lawrence, for the kind introduction. Now, I want to bring a message here today that on top of talent plus purpose equal what? No, talent plus passion equal purpose, right? I want to add one more word to that, and that's the word that Alvin shared this morning. It's called choice, right? Choice. You see, we face a lot of challenges as we go along in our life, right? And if you don't learn to make good choice, sometimes this can happen, right? Because of my bad choices with men, right? Some of you may have breakup relationship. Will you choose to adopt a dog and stop dating entirely? Right? We don't do that, right? We have to learn from our experience. Why are we not making good choices, right? So when you make a choice and you add purpose to it, what is it called? It's called purposely. Right? You do it purposely, right? Yeah. Okay, so I want to share that choice has power. And as a leader, right, as we mentioned earlier, right, we don't let things happen by chance. But we try, we know that we are given the power of choice, and so we make decision purposely. Right? So I want to share with you this few statements, right? Leaders live by choice, not by accident. All right, this is author unknown, right? So this is a quote to suggest that true leaders actively choose to lead, right? Taking responsibility for their actions and decisions rather than simply finding themselves in a leadership position. So even if you don't learn to make good choices, then when you rise up to a leadership position, sometimes you feel very stressful because you don't know what to do, right? So you have to learn. And many a times, right, the second statement, many a time, you make choices based on your philosophy, based on your value system, right? Based on what you believe is right or wrong. And many scientific books don't tell you what is right and wrong, right? In fact, the world sometimes can be very messed up, right? They talk about all kinds of, you know, I mean, can you imagine you run a company and if you allow homosexual relationship, you allow cheating, for example, just to get the sales, right? You may win in the short term, but in the long run, you're going to face a lot of problems. So that's why the Bible is full of value statement. It guides you what is right and what is wrong, right? And then once you have your philosophy right, that will guide you to make good decisions, right? So I want to share with you 3 things about choices, all right? 3 things about choices. Choice number 1, you get to choose your attitude. So I want to share with you this story. This guy called Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a prisoner during the Holocaust. You all know what's Holocaust, right? Israel, when they were captured by the Germans then. So he was put through a lot of persecution. Then he realized one thing, all right? He shared in his book. He said he realized one thing. Everything can be taken away from me. All right? He said everything can be taken away from a man. But one thing, the last of human freedom is you get to choose your attitude. All right? And in any given circumstances, that choice is yours to make. How you respond, all right? You cannot stop problems from coming to you sometimes, right? In a situation, right? People blame you, for example. You make mistakes. Yes, we are all humans, right? Anybody make mistakes before? Anybody never make mistakes? I like to get to know you. Yeah, because we are quite close to God. All right, we all make mistakes. All right, we all have lost money, lost a business deal, failed in examination because never study hard, failed in relationship, right? We all make mistakes. But how you respond to that mistakes, that is a choice, right? You can make a difference, right? So I put here, right? You get to choose your attitude and your response. You want to be angry? You want to take revenge, right? So somebody once said this, right? If somebody scold you, all right, or accuse you wrongly, and you get very angry, that experience or that encounter could be only for what, maybe 5 minutes, all right? But if you continue to think about that scolding for 1 day, means the person has scolded you for 1 day. If you cannot forget, you keep holding that in your mind for 1 week, means what? The person has been scolding you for 1 week. All right? If you hold it for 1 year, means the person is scolding you for 1 year. All right? Who's the one who said that? It was Jack Ma. I learned from him in one of the TikTok video. I think it's very true, right? So what you put in your mind is your choice. Right? And sometimes it's a skill, because if you get used to it, right? When an accusation or something you get very upset about, sticks in your mind and you are not able to get rid of it, it's not an easy experience, right? It's not something I want to take it down. I can just take it out of your mind. So it is a skill to learn, right? To learn how to handle that sort of responses. So what I do personally, usually when I get very stressful or when I'm very upset, I listen to music. I find it's very therapeutic. You listen to music, just clear your mind and let the music fill your mind. And then when you feel that you are at ease, especially worry. Worry is the most difficult thing to deal with, right? When I was younger, when I had to come up the stage, and give my talk, wow, it can get in your mind for like the night before you can't sleep. You keep thinking, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Right? So I find music, especially Christian music, help to, calm my mind. All right? Something you can try to. Now, the second thing I like to share with you about choice is this thing called the compounding effect. Okay? Compounding effect talks about making small moves. All right? You make small choices as you go along. All right? You make small choices and they will add up. All right? It turns into a behavior. And that behavior becomes a habit. So you don't develop that habit immediately, right? It can be a simple thing like, I like to use exercise, right? As a good example, exercise, right? Nobody becomes Mr. Universe immediately, right? It doesn't mean you want to lose weight, right? Tomorrow, now I'm 70 kg or now I'm 100 kg. I want to be 50 kg. I want to lose half my weight. Does it happen immediately? Does it happen the next day? No way, right? right? So you have to make good choices. It becomes a behavior, and then it becomes a habit. All right. So there's this thing called compounding effect. All right. Of course, this term is used especially in the financial world, right? You want to save money. You want to become a millionaire, right? If you don't pick up good habits to save, to invest, all right, and then make good returns, then no matter how much money I give you, you're going to lose it, right? So these are all, making a choice to learn a skill, right? Maybe I want to learn how to play guitar. I tell myself, I spend 5-10 minutes every day, then it becomes a behavior, and then one day you realize that, hey, I can play so naturally, right? Yeah. So a lot of good habits don't happen automatically, right? It's because you made the right choice. You practice it every day, and then it becomes a second nature, right? So this is the second thing I like to introduce to you, called compounding effect. All right, remember that it's not going to happen. You want to become someone powerful, someone, with certain skill, maybe 10 years from now, right? The decision starts now, right? If you don't start working on it now, 10 years, you're still at the same starting point, all right? Nothing is going to happen. Okay, so first is choose your attitude, choose your response, right? Especially in your mind to yourself. And second, choose the power of compounding effect. And then the third area I like to share with you, all right, this is the compounding effect, right? In Chinese, it's called accumulation. Bit by bit becomes big, but becomes great. Now, the third one I like to share with you, all right? You see this stone cutter? He wants to cut this big piece of rock, right? It's not easy to cut, right? Big piece of rock. But how does he cut this big piece of rock? I don't know if you all seen this video before, right? They insert the nail, small nail. They whack bit by bit, one small whack at one time. And then finally, the big piece of rock will crack into two. Okay? So I want to introduce you this thing called the choice of small action. Like yesterday, Lawrence was sharing, don't despise the small things. Sometimes God placed us in situations where it may seem very insignificant, all right, but they're actually building blocks to take you to somewhere very important. I'd like to share with you how EYLC started, right? Actually, I got to know Lawrence through Alfie, right? Alfie, I've known him for many years. So we were in Singapore, I go to swim with Alfie, whenever it's in Singapore, we go swimming, in this army club called Safra. So one day, I know Alfie comes to Cambodia a lot. Then he was telling me, hey, because I've been talking to him about what I do in consulting, training, and all that. He said, I will introduce you to this guy, wow, this guy called Lawrence, great guy, I should meet him. So three of us got together, we were at McDonald's one day. We sat down, we started talking about life, right? I mean, we reached a certain point in life, right? You talk about legacy, what can we give back to society? What can we do, right? So, of course, in our conversation, then we talk about, the young people in Cambodia, all right? Because we have met many, and of course, in the business world, sometimes it's very scary because the lure of power, the lure of pleasure is very real, right? And we were talking about, if young people are not told about the empowered youth leadership that we are talking about, right? And then once you go into the working world, you realize that the temptation of materialism, all right? When you see someone with a big car, living in a big house, a lot of money to spend, but these people may not have very good value system. But when you compare, it can be very very inferior or very luring, right? You feel that I want to be in that position, I want to be like that person, right? And then the young man or the young woman, if it's not given the right values, will think that success means like that, like what both Alvin and Andrew shared this morning, right? If you don't have the right standards, then you are drawn to the world, right? And the world standard of success is everything exterior, right? You want to have big house, big car, big money to spend. Sometimes even, I don't know what else. Many times it's about external. Then they care about themselves, right? So what if other people are poor? They are in trouble. That's not my problem. I don't care. I just want to have a good life for myself, right? So that's how our conversation started. And we say, since we, all right, have our, especially, both Lawrence and Alfie, they are in Cambodia a lot. So we say, why don't we just do a conference like this, and we felt if it's God's will for us to do it, it will happen, So it was a very small step. Over coffee, we say, let's try it, and because in Brains for Good, I've got 300 corporate members. That's why I run in Singapore. All right. So like some of the companies we showed this morning, right? So they are members of my network in Singapore. So I said I can try to raise money, through some of these friends we have. And then Lawrence has been a trainer. We say, why don't we use your book as a foundation, right? The book that he's going to share with you. And of course, Alfie, I must thank, through Alfie, we got to know many people here, like Helena and, many more. Andrew, right? He was in the Singapore Cambodia club together before, right? So you see, a very small vision, right? And because we took action, we say, okay, let's do it. We took action. It's a small step, step by step, step by step. So last year was the launch of our first conference. How many of you were here last year? Wow, okay, maybe about 20%. So it's good. So we see many new faces, all right? So I'd like to share with you as a leader, all right, you may have a vision, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen, right? The action also, sometimes don't need to aspire for immediately one big action, right? Small action at one time. Okay, in my closing, I like to share with you the earlier analogy I use, right? I find losing weight is sometimes a very good analogy because it's really not easy. How many of you tried to lose weight before? Really not easy, right? Lawrence? But I don't see result. Right? So I took this picture of this woman. I just grabbed it from Google image. You see, she was like 100 over pounds, and she lost weight to this size. Amazing, right? That tells you miracles can happen. Right? Do you believe in miracles? If you do your part, make small investment along the way. All right? So, many of you, if only I had your age again, so many things we will do differently, right? You just have to invest whatever skill you want to build. Frankly, nothing is impossible for you. If you make a decision, if you want to be a powerful communicator, it's all within your grasp. You just have to spend quality time every day, maybe 1 hour every day. Just keep practicing the skill. You want to be a musician, all right? You want to learn a new language. All right, you want to learn math, science, whatever, you just have to put in effort every day. Right? I tell you, 10 years from now, you're going to be amazing. Okay? So I believe, I'm 57 this year. Okay? But I believe miracles can still happen. Right? So one day I'll be like that. Nothing is impossible. Small steps every day. Yeah. All right. So the head is mine. The body will be Lawrence. Okay? Yeah. So I want to leave you with this last word. All right, this is my last slide. I want to leave you with this last word. All right, no matter how much knowledge you have, how strong you are, the world believes that when you are fast, you will win the race. Right? That's what the world believes. When you're fast, you will win the race. If you're strong, you will win the war. Right? The battle will go to the strong. All right? If you're wise, you will have bread to eat. All right? And if you are a man of understanding, all right, you will have favor, or favor to the man of skill. That's what the world believes. It is true. Yeah, to some extent it's true. But the Bible has one level higher truth to it. It's called time and chance. Happen to all. All right? Time and chance means what? You are at the right place at the right time. And only God can put you at the right place at the right time. Right? And you guys are going to make a lot of very important decisions. Your life partner, your career, your investment, right? You're going to make a lot of these kind of decisions. And sometimes you realize that your decisions are influenced by the people around you, right? You're influenced by certain happening. And because you have prayed and God has answered your prayer, and that's why you are at the right place at the right time, right? So while we build the right skills, these are things we can control. We do what we can, right? But we have to trust God for the things that we cannot control. And that is to be at the right place at the right time. All right. So I pray that all of you will receive this promise. All right. Book of Ecclesiastes, said by the wisest man on earth, the wisest king, the richest king, right, on earth. All right. King Solomon. Okay. Thank you.